Okay, guys, I'm shooting a couple videos all in one night. I got to get these done with the way I'm working, as busy as I've been and stuff. And lighting's as good as could be between the last video I shot, which was a VHS haul up there. Just put the Batman box up there. And this video, I tried to fix the lighting and stuff. It's just too late at night. This is as good as it gets, you know. But anyway, this been kind of dabbling back into the community as I can and stuff, mostly through messages and stuff, and slowly started talking to people who bring up conversations here and there. It's been going on the last couple months here and there, just work and life. You know how it is, But anyway, our buddy, our good friend, his channel is Mski361. Really good guy. I watch his videos, real down to earth. Checked on Facebook. I think the man just shaved his beard, much like I did last week, which I thought was funny. But he hit a con a few months ago, and apparently thought of me, and knows that I'm going for the big Cerebus 300 arc, all the 300 issues. Which in reality, what I'm going for is issue 25 to 300, and I think I can't remember if I'm halfway or a third there. I think I'm over halfway now. And he was nice enough there. He ran across some of them at a con I think he was at, or a flea market or something. And I sent him a list, or if I remember right. And man, he was kind enough to get this. Now, I'm always appreciative when somebody wants to send me books and stuff, and I'll keep them out, keep them in mind if I know they're looking for things and stuff, and I'll keep an eye out, down the line and stuff. Pay it forward, later on down the line if I don't have anything here. But every now and then, I like it when people actually talk or watch my videos or something, and they get something that is very thoughtful, even if they didn't intend it to be that way. And I never thought I'd get a Cerebus #1, and this is actually kind of obvious, and I could kick myself. But when I sent him my list of Cerebus books that I needed and stuff, I didn't put a #1 on there or anything like that. But what he got me was in 1988, Cerebus went bi-weekly with reprints. And he grabbed a Cerebus #1 reprint. And I was just sort of like, oh man, that was just very cool to open up the box and see. Okay? So that right there tells you about the character of this guy. And so it's Mski361. I'll put a link in the video. If it's not here when you first watch it, it means this video uploaded and I clicked it and went to work, and I'll add it later. Okay? So yeah, man, thanks a lot right off the bat. So moving on here and stuff, I got issue 93 of this is the there's storylines within storylines, okay, with Cerebus. Okay, first 25 of his adventures is a parody of Conan, the Barbarian. Our Earth Pig is more or less a little sword and sorcery there kit going on, and parody and satire of all sorts of things. Then he went into High Society, which has story arcs within it. It's like 26 to 50 or something like that. But then he got into Church and State, which, Church and State ran from, I don't know, something like issue 52 up to like 110 or 11 or something. I think it was 111. And it had story arcs within it. And in the middle of this, he had Secret Wars, which is always kind of like a poke at Marvel because they had the Secret Wars going on. So this little story within the story is one of my favorites. Church and State as a whole is a freaking work of genius. If you're going to get Cerebus, I recommend the first 150 issues and then leave. Okay, unless you really, really are into Cerebus and stuff. Got me issue 99. See if we can get a glare off of that. That's the Earth Pig in there, which is just fantastic. Then we got issue 109, and I don't want to say how Church and State ends. I mean, this arc ended back in the 80s and stuff. There's still people who are discovering, Cerebus and getting these trades. And I got to tell you, man, for the existential ending that it had, I thought it was perfect and powerful and just enough, The interesting thing about Cerebus is that Sam pulls characters from very obscure movies that don't feel obscure to him. Camelot was one. And then he's got someone who speaks for God at the end of this, the judge. I think that's what his name is. But anyway, the whole point of why I'm not sure if that's what it is because the character that he pulled from a movie was just in a movie from the 60s or 50s or 60s, I think, who was just a judge in a very small part of the movie, and he made him a character in there. He throws in Groucho Marx, Oscar Wilde, all kinds of other characters popped in there as time went on. George, you know. So, and then we have Jakka's story, number 125. Now, Jakka's story is the one that I went to a flea market and grabbed them all because, you know, they were like half off. I got them for like nothing, basically. And there's only like 3 or 4 chapters of the Jakka story missing there, and I think I have it in trade. I don't know. I don't know if I do or not. But anyway, somewhere on the line, I was able to somehow read the missing issues, and Jakka's story just pulled me in and blew me away because Cerebus is supposed to be a 300 issue story. Basically, one story, a story within a story within a story, one story of one character's life. And it's going, he said it would end with his death in 300. And in life, sometimes it's like we're the main feature in life. And then sometimes we're a background character in life watching other people live. And then throughout all of his life, the one thread that connects all these stories, and that I believe the night, if you want, and if you do, you're a liar. Everybody has a Jakka. She is the most normal human character in the whole series. Cerebus loves her dearly, and then we get Jakka's story, which was just fantastic. Okay, going on with this, issue 127, another missing piece to Jakka's story that I needed. Then we go to Malmuth, which was sort of like, I don't know if I'd recommend Malmuth or not, but here's issue 150. And basically this is where I'm going to tell you just might as well quit. Okay, then we go to 172 with Mothers and Daughters. Okay, 173 with another one of the Mothers and Daughters. Not bad stuff at all, don't get me wrong, but he said this whole Mothers and Daughters storyline, it got broken into women, wait a minute, what was it? Flight, Women, Reads, and Minds, or something like that. But it got broken down into four or 5 trades there. But what I love about Mothers and Daughters is that, you know, it kind of finally brings church and state sort of to a close, if that makes any idea. It's like the last great story arc that went with that. But he ended up doing a parody and satire of Sandman in The Endless in it, which is just, it's some funny shit. And even Neil Gaiman loved it. It was so funny. Okay. Then we go into Guys. Here's issue 202. Guys is where you get into the political and the religious stuff in here, and it even gets into gender, you know, feminism and stuff like that. But basically there is a law that if you are in a pub, bar, whatever you want to call it, you can't be arrested. If you're in there, it's like a sanctuary. You know, you have to be a paying customer and stuff. And events have happened to where Cerebus becomes a little bit of a broke man, broke earth pig, and he ends up spending 5 years in a bar. So yeah, it's kind of cool. 213. Really excited to read this. I haven't in trade, but I've been waiting. I think I might have this one, but he got into a lot of Andy Warhol covers, so I don't know if it's this specifically. Yeah, but here's issue 214. And then we go to the Going Home arc, which I've stayed away from. I've got quite a few down here. I think it's right here's my Cerebus collection. Probably like half of this. Like right about there. I don't know. But anyway, here's Going Home, where I can't tell you a whole lot about it because I haven't read it, but I think he's reunited with Jakka. 232. Going Home, chapter 21, but it's issue 252. And then we get into Latter Days. Now, Latter Days is where I think things started becoming completely unreadable. Literally unreadable. He started deciphering script of religion. Dave Sim, who's an atheist, supposedly started researching script for Cerebus and ended up going in there and really getting into it. I think this is what it is. So, you know, he just started getting out there. Now, ironically, you know, the readership went way down on this. And, yeah, he used to print how many copies were sold and stuff. But what's ironic is now that the whole story's been completed for over a decade, well over a decade and stuff, Latter Days, the actual trade has, I don't know if it's got up in value, but you can't find one cheap to buy. So out of all the trades of that, Latter Days seems to be the one to find. You know, our aardvark is older, past middle age. 280, leading up to his death in issue 300. 281. And he literally brought in the Three Stooges. And apparently, he had it all planned out. Here's a lot of things that popped up in latter days with our character of Cerebus. 282. And he continues building on the characters on the back with this, with what's going on. We have 286 and 287. Now, I really seriously am curious that once I have all of latter days together and I start flipping and reading through them, is it something that reads better as a whole, or does it still stay that way? So, thank you very much, Brian. I do appreciate it, man. Everybody go subscribe to Mski361. And thank you, man. I mean, I appreciate it, man. Getting closer to completing that set. That reprinted #1. Very thoughtful, man. I appreciate it. I hope you made it to the end of the video to, hear this and stuff. Okay. Thanks a lot, guys. Later.